Hello, everyone. This is Aaron, the creator of Lime and Lemon, as well as one of its voice actors, the voice of Seesaw, and also the writer, director, and many other hats. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about our outlook for the future of this series. First off, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who has been watching us for however long you've been watching us. We're really appreciative of all of your support and the comments that you leave and all of the stuff that you do to help us move forward. That said, we're definitely going to need your support come this next year because 2026 is a bit scary for us. There will be a lot that will be changing over the course of this next year, and some of those changes are really good, and some of those changes may not be so good. And it really depends on how the cards fall and what kind of support we can get from you guys in order to keep things running. For the past couple of years, Lime and Lemon has been a series that has not actively sought to fund itself through any sort of crowdfunding or investment. Because of that, it has remained free and accessible to everyone. The free aspect of Lime and Lemon is not something we plan on changing anytime soon, but we do need help to continue funding the series going forward. The funding that you are able to provide us with will determine the future of the series and if we're able to implement a lot of the changes we want to make. So what are the changes we want to make? Well, number one, we want to make sure that we get all the way through our second and third comic seasons. They have already been written. They were finished as of earlier this year, and now they are in a production process. With that production process, things are currently looking very similar to how they have over the past season. However, we understand that our current comic design needs some updating, especially for being turned into a video format with the dubs. So we want to be able to bridge the gap between comic and animation a little bit and hopefully provide a nice middle ground for season 3 that feels a little more animated and a little more dynamic and in movement with the characters in the comic. While the comics have produced a great deal of the story of Lime and Lemon and have helped retain audience and bring in audience members, we know that a lot of people enjoy our animations and would like to see those animations start to be a part of our storytelling, and would like to see those animations be a more regular part of our storytelling. To be able to provide more regular animation, we would definitely need to increase our budget. That, of course, doesn't even begin to mention the animated pilot, which we have talked about over the past couple of years. Our animated pilot has been moving very, very slowly and is still at risk of not ever coming out, but we have been making progress on it, and additional funding would help towards that. And if you stick around to the end of the video, you might even get to see a little extra bit of that animated pilot, stuff that we weren't able to release in April with our animation progress update. There is one other big change that we would like to be able to make to the story as well, which is towards the end of season 3 in 2026, we are intending to do a soft reboot of the series. What we mean by soft reboot is that the current canon of the series will mostly remain unchanged. However, we are planning on resetting the timeline to go back to the beginning of when those comics started and to flesh things out a lot more. It does mean that some character interactions that were present in season 1 through 3 of the comics will be altered or changed in a way that is more consistent with our current direction for the story. But our goal is to keep things as consistent between the two storylines as possible, so that hopefully this soft reboot does not feel like you are relearning a world, but getting to discover more of it. It's also at this time when we will be moving away from our traditional comic style to a more fully realized and in detail comic style that is consistent with some of the visuals you see on our banner and in our profile picture on all of our social media. But again, all of these changes require money and they require funding, And so with that in mind, let's take a look at the timeline that we have for 2026 and how dependent it is on funding. Starting in January of 2026, there will be a fundraising campaign. We will be asking you guys to donate and in return trying to provide you guys with extra content if you do donate. The extra content currently appears as posters, access to our audio libraries, and even sort of funny B-roll that comes from our voice actors as they record their sessions. We're working on additional content, but this is just the stuff that we have readily available to us in order to provide you guys with something of a thank you for being willing to donate. Also in January and through the end of March, we intend to be finishing up our Season 2 comic dub releases. As of the time of making this video, I believe that our final comic of Season 2 is coming out tomorrow or a week from tomorrow when you see this video. Season 3 will be a much shorter comic season because it is very story-driven, and we want to try and get into our soft reboot before the end of 2026. Also happening around the March-April timeframe will be the upload of our Lyman Lemon website. This website is intended as a one-stop shop for all of the things that are Lyman Lemon, including lore drops, comics, and comic dubs, and additional information about the characters and the place that they live. Lore drops is something that we want to start doing in February. These will be little videos going over the space that is Creature's Cape itself, talking about some of the history of the world that Lime and Lemon live in, and just having some fun with the world that exists around these characters. After the Season 2 comics are done in March, we will be doing a small run of animations in between Season 2 and Season 3 of the comics. The comics will return sometime in the middle of the summer, either late June or early July, and finish by the end of the year in 2026. June is the date that we have set for all of the financial stress that we have going into this season. Because after June, things will start to turn either one way or another. From the start of our fundraising campaign in January all the way to June, we will be trying to seek funds to maintain the series and continue its ability to upload and produce content. For June, we have 3 tiers of goals for the sort of financial funding that we will need to be able to continue the series. Goal 1 is that we are generating collectively $400 a month. What this number would allow us to do is maintain course, but it keeps the ship moving. Because if you didn't know this, Lime and Lemon more or less costs $400 a month to keep up running. The second goal is to make it between $400 and $1,000, which we are calling our $700 goal. With a $700 goal, what we should be able to do is not only keep the series running, but start seeking a dedicated team to our comics and our short animations. It definitely allows us to improve the consistency and quality of the things that we've been uploading. Then our last goal is $1,000 and up a month. Anything at 1,000 or over would allow us to be able to not only continue our way through Season 3 and the soft reboot, but really expand our ability to produce animated content, additional story content, additional comic content, and a higher production quality across the board for everything on our channel. If we are able to achieve it, it's definitely within reason to say that there will be a lot of positive changes coming forward to the series. And the wonderful thing about that goal is, in an ideal world, the only thing that you as an individual would have to do watching this video is donate more or less $1. Because right now our fan base is bigger than 1,000. And we have more people interested in this series than money that we need to keep things up running. So in an ideal world, if we could have every person donate $1 a month, that would blow out our final goal, and it would allow us to be able to really produce the kind of content that you want to see. Now let's talk about what happens if we don't get to meet any of our financial goals, because it is perhaps the scariest part of 2026, but it is very much a reality. If we do not meet our financial goals by June of 2026, we will still continue to roll out Season 3. However, lore drops will drop off or discontinue. The ability to do animations will also drop off and no longer exist. And by December of 2026, assuming that nothing else changes and that we are still in a nosedive financially, Lime and Lemon will be over. There will be no soft reboot, and the series as a whole will give its final farewell, and this channel will exist as an archive, which is why we are hoping that when we start this campaign in January, that you guys are willing to help us out and to give us the money necessary to make this series continue. We have a huge plan in store for the entire story, and hopefully we have earned your trust over the past couple of years to be able to even ask for $1 to keep things moving. There will be more on this campaign in the coming weeks, but for now, that is all I can really say on the matter, because I don't want to overstep or speak too soon about things that we are still in the process of making decisions on. Aside from this timeline, and aside from the sort of bleak tone that this timeline produces, we do have some birthday gifts for you guys in celebration of our birthday. First off, there's now a community Discord. This is something that we've heard people wanting for a while. We want to be involved with you guys, and we want to build a community. We will be actively monitoring how people use and treat the Discord. There will be modding, but we are excited ultimately to be sharing this with you guys. Hopefully you've already been enjoying our other gift that we're giving you, which is this entire December has had a really heavy upload schedule between Christmas comics, Christmas dubs, normal comics, normal dubs, posters, and etc. Yes, it's partly in the spirit of Christmas, but it's also in the spirit of our birthday that we want to provide you guys with as much content as we can throughout this month. Lastly, as a present to you guys and as proof of progress on our animated pilot, I am now going to turn it over to a piece of the pilot that we ended up creating a little while ago that you might be interested in seeing.
Whoa, where are we? What is this place?
This is the dice dimension. Every game of luck or chance has a place here, and all of them are controlled by the same tyrant. If we hurry, though, we can catch him off guard.
Who's the tyrant?
Oh, well, that's easy. He's the... Watch out!
What the?
Darn it, Snake Eyes.
Snake what?
Well, hello, Lime. We meet again. And I see you brought a friend along this time.
You're going down, Chancellor.
Yeah. Wait, Chancellor? Really?
Yeah, he's the Lord of Chance. Chancellor.
Oh. So, like, is the D silent or...
Enough! So, I see you're playing with my dice today. That's nice. They're awfully hungry. In fact, I reckon they could eat a full house!
What are those things?
They're called Snake Eyes. Quick! You got anything in your pockets?
Just these.
Sick. Yes, critical hit.
Those dice just got rolled.
Isn't that nonsense? It appears you've trumped my dice, but wait until you see my next one. You could say they're four of a kind.
You wouldn't happen to have anything else in that hoodie, would you?
Only D20s. Sorry.
Figures. Guess we'll just have to improvise.
What is this?
It's a club.
Feels kinda wonky.
Just be happy it wasn't hearts or diamonds.
Let me know how things go when they destroy you. I'll be up in my palace. Make sure to scream extra loud, or I won't hear it. Toodles!
Ugh. He retreated to his house of cards. We have to get up there and stop him.
Up where? On the top of the mountain?
Yep.
Don't we only have an hour though? And these guys seem pretty tough. Maybe we can finish tomorrow.
Not an option.
Happy now?
Yes.
Good. Because I have an idea.
Whoa. You know, you're starting to get pretty good at this.
You think so?
Hey, Lemon? Thanks for having my back there. And for the sword.
No problem. That's what friends are for.
All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of pilot animatic to see where we are headed with the story. And hopefully this is only more encouragement for you to want to help us out come January when we start our financial campaign. But even if it's not, or even if you don't have the money, please understand that we are working as hard as we can to produce what you guys love. We are extremely thankful for the things that you do for us, and we want to continue producing stuff for you out of that gratitude. Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate those of you who've watched this video from start to finish. I know it's a long one, but we want to be extremely clear about where we're headed and what we're trying to do. So thank you again, and take care.